and come back to me once we're no longer in danger.
Help! You have to do something! A man arrived in the baths. A real nasty sort, with his face all covered up. And he's got a weapon. You have to do something, or he's gonna break the golden rule.
Ooh, nasty.
Wait, who are you?
Fabia, but now's not the time. Are you going to help or not?
Oh, I don't have a weapon.
None of us do. The magistrate made us throw them all into the chasm. So now this man's bow is the only one in the city. You'll just have to improvise.
I'll get right on it.
Thank you. He's still in there, somewhere. I have to hide. Find me in this empty shrine when it's over.
Do not go in there.
What? Why?
Just trust me.
All right, fine. Come and find me in my bakery instead. Please be careful.
I mean, I'm tempted to go through the conversation again and just
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quintius.
Ooh. Oh, hang on, I get to keep this knowledge as well. Yes, I saw him worshipping in a small round shrine just inside the city. Second building on your left.
Thank you. For your service to the Empire, I'll let you live for now, but you'd best make sure our paths don't cross again.
I mean...
Filthy, lying degenerate.
That guy was a prick. By the order of Emperor Nero, all loyal sons of Rome are ordered to hunt and execute the arsonist murderer Tiberius Quintus Crispus, a citizen from Avetine district of Rome. He's about 40 to 50 years old. He has average height, average build, dark hair. He has one green eye, one blue eye. He is typical clean shaven. Known associate of cultists and suffers from delusions of grandeur. Arrows. Bow. Oh, yes. I have money now. Into two Greek vase depicting some kind of battle. Yeah, part of me thinks it would have been nicer just to, like, you know, do the... do the whole ritual. But it seemed to let me keep the knowledge. Yes. What does that remind me? Assuming this is a secret way into somewhere.
Ah, a visitor. Welcome, welcome. May I ask your name?
I'm Proximus.
It's a sincere pleasure to meet you. Tell me, what brings you all the way down here?
found this place by accident.
Then perhaps the fates brought you here to learn the secrets of this place. I will tell you everything I know, but first, a request. I have been living down here alone for many years, with nobody to talk to but myself. The one thing I long for above all else before I die is a good philosophical argument with somebody astute. I'm hoping that person is you.
Let's hope so.
Let us find out with this simple question. Have you deduced the name of the god responsible for the Golden Rule?
Not yet.
You have much to learn.
Ah.
It's best if you figure it out on your own. Come back once you've made progress.
Fair enough. It's just a circle. I take it you've seen this before, Rambler. Or some of this. Greek statue, probably the goddess of whom this temple is dedicated to. Perhaps a local Greek resident knows more about her. You of course will know that it is part of my Tuesday Monday muddle and mystery. I should mention it so often, which I do on Tuesdays and Mondays. There we go.
Hello? Hello?
What's your story?
My name's Dooley. I live here now because I got in trouble and they said they had to lock me up.
Are you the meat safe murderer, but you never done it? What did you do?
I don't know. I don't remember things so good. I think it's just because I was looking for treasure.
Someone think you were going to steal?
Yes. But I wasn't. I was just looking.
Oh.
They said I did it more than once. But I can't remember things so good. Then they called me mean names. They called me a liar, Billy.
I feel like you don't need to correct him, but whatever. Liability?
Yes. They said I have to live here now, and gave me this letter. But I'm not good with words. Do you think you could read it for me?
Very magistrate. What is reading mode? I see. Magistrate Sentius to Julius, writing to you in relation to your incorrigible antisocial behaviour rising from your obsession with the alleged lost treasure. Why I'm sympathetic to your plight. Passing of your guardian, Hannibal. A week ago, I wish to impress upon you the important message: the treasure you seek does not exist. Given your memory limitations, it seems likely you simply misremembered. More importantly, since you have on occasion been caught trespassing, including around cisterns, which is strictly off limits to all citizens, I have reluctantly come to the conclusion that you are a liability to the community and must have your freedom limited, lest you break the golden rule. I hope that this letter will assist you to remember why you were incarcerated. You have experienced further lapses in memory.
What does it say?
So they caught you trespassing several times and they locked you up to stop you breaking the golden rule.
My treasure.
What treasure?
My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said he always would. But then, he died. It was very sad. He said, if anything ever happened to him, I I had to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found the treasure. But I couldn't find it. All I remember is he said something about the cisterns. But when I went up to the high one, they put me in here. Now nobody looks after me. Except my friend Galerius. And Ek, the priestess lady. She's a nice lady.
Give me the key, I can try and find out what it unlocks.
Hannibal said I shouldn't give it to anyone I didn't trust. But maybe you could help me get out of here. Then I would trust you a lot.
I feel like you should have established trust before that, but sure. Let me talk to the magistrate about getting you out of here.
Galerius already tried that. He said the magistrate wouldn't listen, no matter what.
Well, you remember that then. Maybe it's time we had a new magistrate.
Like Galerius? He's nice. I like Galerius. He made me a doll and everything. If you help make him magistrate, he can get me out of here, and I can give you the key to my treasure.
Okay, he's gonna
Hannibal
wait.
said it was in the cisterns. I can't remember what it was, just that it was way up high and very precious.
Okay, now I have a reason to mess around with the vote. So I was like, it kept giving me options to intervene, and I'm like, no, because they're obviously both not great. See what I can do. Do you know a way out of here?
You're going to let me out of here? Really?
It's not what I said. I asked you if you know a way out of here.
Please. I hate it here. It makes me very sad.
What do you think about the golden rule?
Gold? You mean treasure?
Let's talk about your treasure.
My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said all I remember is now nobody.
Fair enough.
Bye bye.
I found Galerius at least. Also, I've misplaced the priestess. Did not do it. Never done it. Oof, don't do that, John. I have to be careful every time I go in there. Talk to Galerius. Ooh, hang on, there's a horror game called Galerius. I should play that. Hang on, is he underground? Okay, so the biggest difficulty in this game, really good time, is that I'm just terrible at mentally mapping places out. So I'm just like, anytime the game goes, oh, you need to go there quickly, I'm gonna fail. Can I? Right, wait, that doesn't involve that. Who is Ixion again? So I know Ixion as an electric horse. That's how everyone listens.
Galerius?
Horatius? Looking a bit troubled there.
These statues is worth on the
Outside
outside.
Centilla, and I haven't slept right in 3 weeks.
Don't be too hard on yourself.
Oh, everyone's gone. Hang on. Also, time seems to have passed.
Anyway, I thought you Stoics weren't supposed to worry about things you can't control.
Yeah, but I keep thinking, what if there is something I can do? What if she's out there somewhere suffering, waiting to be found?
Sounds like you're torturing yourself. Leave that for the gods. Try to relax, get some rest. Tomorrow's a new day.
I suppose you're right.
He looks busy. Busy.
Handsome.
Time to go to be starting.
Ah!
Ah, you're here. I'm so glad you decided to visit. I'm Aurelia, and I hope I'm not being too forward, but the moment I laid eyes on you, I was intrigued.
I get that a lot.
There's a light in your eyes I've never seen before, a certain learning and sophistication.
Ah, fair enough. You would have seen Ixion, the electric horse, in Final Fantasy Unlimited. Would have been one of the terrible CG summons. Oh, stop it. No, please go on.
What was that? Some kind of joke?
Oh, fuck. Oh,
If
shit.
it was, it wasn't funny. I take back what I said.
Haha!
Suddenly, I don't find you so intriguing anymore. Let's just forget that ever happened, so we can at least do business. So, what brings you to my tavern?
What's your story?
Ugh, let it go. Nothing's going to happen between us.
No way out of here.
You know, normally, I'd expect you to buy me a drink before asking if I want to get out of here.
That's cute, but seriously, do you know a way out?
Straight to business, huh? I can work with that. As a matter of fact, I do know a way out.
She's in possession of the world's
I'm happy
cleanest
to tell
cup.
you about it, but this is valuable information we're talking about, and I don't just give it out like some cheap oracle. So, how badly do you want it? Is it worth, say, 1,000 denarii to you?
I've got 1 denarii? Isn't it kind of unethical to keep all these people trapped in here knowing there's a way out?
I think of it this way. I have something of value, and I'm willing to share it for a price. That's not unethical. That's just good business. Now, do you
Those
want it
two
or not?
concepts aren't mutually exclusive. If you have a way out, why haven't you used it yourself?
Simple. It's a one-way trip, and I'm not ready to go just yet. I like my life here. One day, maybe, but not now.
Also, Final Fantasy X had Ixion as well, which was a slightly less crummy horse. Tell me more about what I'd be buying.
Well, I can't tell you too much, or you'd figure it out for yourself. But I promise you, you'll never have to spend another hour in this city ever again.
No, no, this isn't a scam.
If I took your money without giving you what I promised, I'd be breaking the golden rule, wouldn't I? And I have no interest
Well,
in
I don't know
doing
if we've
that.
established that scamming is the same as stealing. I can kill a guy by tricking him into a place that's just about to collapse, which I'm assuming is the same loophole that lets people poison other people by, like, putting a poison meal in front of someone. You know, you've not stabbed them. And I assume a scam works on the same logic. You know, it's not, you've not stolen the money necessarily if you word it correctly. I don't have that kind of money right now.
Well, perhaps you could take out a loan. I understand Malleolus has lent money to others.
Nicholas seems like he's busy right now. What do you think about the golden rule?
I just try not to think about it. Drink helps with that. As the saying goes, to drink is human, so we drink.
No, I did that recently and that was a terrible idea. Had any interesting gossip?
Certainly. For 10 denarii.
I have 10 dinner.
How embarrassing for you.
Where are we going now?
All right. See ya.
Oh, they've all gone. It's a large vat for brewing beer. There's layers of small insects drowning on the surface. Delicious.
You stay away from my money.
Not stealing your money. That's against the golden rule, isn't it?
shall suffer for the sins of the One.
Oh, something went down. Oh, fuck. Alright, let's save so I can actually make it out. I take it the election didn't go great. Ah. Good.
What have we done?
Oh. Ah, I found you. Items. Let's go yourself sent to suicide. Oh, yes, of course, because I can prevent that now.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and what you're doing with that bow on your back?
Oh, I didn't realise. Proximus, we've had this conversation before.
I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life.
Yeah, Salve. How dare you, Ave, when you're supposed to Salve. Your name is Galerius, and you're about to offer to take me to see Sentius so he can tell me about the Golden Rule.
Oh, Bacchus, how much did I drink last night? Sorry to have bothered you.
Oh, I have to go.
And since you seem to be in a hurry, you should try out this device I made. Worked real hard on it.
A zip line? Is that a thing?
Just attach the pulley to the rope over the lake and hang on to the handles. If it works, it'll be faster than walking. And if it doesn't work, worst thing that can happen is you'll take a swim in the lake. I haven't quite summoned the courage to test it myself. But don't worry, it's completely safe. Probably.
Thanks, you seem capable. Perhaps you could take care of some urgent problems for me.
Oh, sounds serious. I'm listening.
Need you to stop Fabio from entering the empty shrine. Tell the new arrival he'll find what he's looking for in there.
Alright, let me see. Stop Fabio going in, but send the new arrival to the empty shrine.
Ooh.
Understood.
That's it now. Go as fast as you can.
I'll go, but once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
Alright, I've had an idea for a game. I've had lots of ideas for games. I've tried programming games, but one of them is I wanted to make how do I explain it? Like it's sort of like the Zero Escape series. I wanted to make a game that had like a certain amount of people trapped in a location, and it's actually, I realise the concept is actually really close to this now that I think about it. Specifically, I was gonna do. My idea was that you wouldn't have to do any conversation twice, because the game would remember you'd done that conversation, and you could either continue or use the information elsewhere. And it's really nice to actually see that in practice. But a gladiator would also be cool. But no. I don't know how to use the thing. I guess that is not the one you'd go up there. Oh no, ah fuck. a much simpler. There's a game about called Kill the Princess or something like that. How do I use it? But that's just a visual novel, which is arguably what I was thinking of, like a game attached to it, which is arguably what this is now I think about it. Hilarious for magistrate, counted by I would rather drink Aurelia's special brew. Somebody's been hard at work with the prototype zipline.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold braying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again. You're in a world of your own, aren't you?
Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls. But it does not notice the crowds that come.
What's your story?
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the Forum.
The Malkavian.
Some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives.
I'm sorry, I have no idea what that means.
They never do.
You know a way out of here.
There is only a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions.
I see. What do you think about the Golden Rule? What do you think about the Golden Rule?
The bloodless shadows. This is their punishment.
Right. Can you tell me about the pattern you saw?
You think you wish to know, but you do not. It is better for you if you remain ignorant. Pandora's box must stay closed. I'll say no more.
I'll be going now.
The newly arrived are ignorant of the road before them.
I love your clothes. So exotic. Ah, you're here. I'm so glad you decided. And I hope I'm not being too... There's a light.
You're as charming as you are beautiful.
Ugh, coming on a bit strong, don't you think?
Do you give it to me?
I take back what I said. So let's just forget that ever. All right.
Yeah, I don't know where I left her, right? More household shrine where the ancient Romans offered daily prayers for protection. Domitus has been using this to train. Wonder he's between training 4. Yes, quite. They first had an orgy before concerned. Oh, this is a better place than the toilets. Dice tower. Metal dice tower designed to stop people from cheating when rolling dice. Clearly cheating must be a problem among Romans. I don't know, it's just fun. It's fun to see them all rolling. Oh, now I can use this. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Well, I've just found myself in a stack. Yeah, a lot of time is going to be wasted me not knowing where certain people are. Like, I know the piece of paper I've got tells me where they are, but, like, I don't know where any of that shit is.
Fear is proof of a degenerate mind.
Is it?
What is it, citizen? Not that it's any of your business. Unfortunately, see, Domitius has been going around. The man's a savage. Sentient, this place.
They're kind of weak.
Hey, if you think you can do better, be my guest. I don't want to hold my breath. In any case, if you're interested in the election, go and have a chat with Equitia, the Vestal Priestess. She'll be overseeing proceedings. All right?
I can take it this Malleus place. Right, the game really wants me to talk to that priestess. This guy's house again, is it? Apparently. Oh, there she is. I'll talk to you first then.
Hey, Horatius. How's it feel knowing your man's doomed to lose the election today?
Arve. A new face. Arve, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
I've been asking people about how they wound up here. Okay, I'll do that last. Do you know a way out of here?
I don't, I'm afraid. It seems to me we're exiled here until the gods judge us, one way or another.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We ask for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals. But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. Would you like to hear it? It is rather long.
I think it's very cool for the game to actually warn me. Why not? I have time.
Wonderful. It goes like this. Baucis and Philemon were an old married couple living a humble life in a small town. One night, the town gets a visit from a couple of vagrants.
Though I guess time is a factor.
They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay the night. Of course, being vagrants, they're turned away sharply from house after house, 1,000 in all. until finally they come to the little cottage where Borsis and Philemon lived. Now, the kind old couple had very little to offer, but nevertheless, they invite these strangers into their house and offer them food, wine, and a place to stay. Immediately, the guests make themselves at home. They begin gulping down the old couple's wine, so much so that Borsis, the old lady, begins to worry they're going to run out. And then she notices something strange. Her wine pitcher keeps refilling itself, as if by magic. Realizing only a select few possess such powers, says to her husband, Philemon, "I think these men are gods in disguise." Immediately the couple begins apologizing for offering such coarse wine, and the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal themselves to be Jupiter, the king of the gods, and Mercury, the trickster god. They confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. They were just pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality. Then Jupiter says to them, "You have passed our test, but everyone else in this city failed, so we are going to destroy this place and everyone in it, except you, who we will grant a wish." So old Borsis and Philemon escape up into the mountains safely, and they receive their wish, which is for eternity together. Meanwhile, Jupiter carries through with his threat and wipes that city off the map. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests. But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves.
I mean, they could have saved the town with their wish. Let's agree. It's not basic.
I'm pleased to hear it.
What is the status of the election?
It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus, the challenger. Why do you ask?
I'd like to nominate Galerius.
I like the idea, but I know Galerius well, and his position has always been that he won't run unless Malleolus withdraws. It was only yesterday that he said to me he'd only ever run if it was absolutely necessary to make sure Sentius wasn't re-elected. So, I suppose if you'd like to see Galerius elected magistrate, you'd need to persuade Malleolus to withdraw somehow.
Who's allowed to vote?
All of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend, unless they're running, of course.
Can I vote then?
Well, you're not a citizen yet, so no, I'm afraid not. But if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome of an election.
Such as?
By using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course.
What's your role in it?
I'm responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed.
Can I nominate another candidate?
You can, assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination.
Something I don't.
Certainly.
I've been asking people how they wound up here trying to find a pattern.
Interesting. I'm not sure why you're telling me, but you've come to the right person. Did you find a pattern then? What have you noticed? Yes, I also had such an encounter. What else? Yes, what else? That's true. It's... Let me ask. And
Did a young woman.
did you happen to catch her name? I see. And was this Karen, by any chance, wearing a hood?
Do you know what? I actually think... So I mentioned before that this took me by surprise. They hid it well using the meme. But I actually think that's actually mentioned in one of the reviews. And the reviewer hid it. I'm assuming the reviewer is not super high patch wolf, super bunny hop, which I obviously I can't rewatch the review until I've finished this, but I'm quite confident he won't have spoiled anything because he wouldn't. I know he's really into his like Roman history and stuff. I suspect he deliberately wouldn't out his way to spoil anything, especially a kind of joke.
because I've seen her before. But don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking...
I'm following too closely. Oh yeah, I don't have to press the button, do I? Okay.
You there? I'm sorry to trouble you, but I couldn't help but notice that fine bow you're carrying. No idea how you managed to get your hands on it, especially in the light of our dear old magistrate's ban, but I'm impressed. And before you ask, no, I wouldn't dream of trying to buy it from you. I have no use for a wooden bow myself. But I would like to propose a joint business venture of sorts.
Go on.
Tell me, do you have any idea how people here end up as golden statues?
The statues come to life and fire golden bows, arrows at them.
And here I was thinking I was the only one to figure it out.
How the fuck did you figure it out?
Supposedly, 1 or 2 of those arrows is enough to turn a full-grown man into gold. Now, of course, that is a travesty, a terrible, horrible waste of human life, which has to be stopped. And yet, on the other hand, I can't help but think of a tale told by that Greek fella Aesop, the goose that laid the golden egg. With the ability to transmute organic matter into gold, one could create infinite wealth. Use your imagination. Golden animals, insects, trees and plants. The Midas touch without the drawbacks. We are talking riches beyond imagining. And even if we were to split all those riches between the 2 of us, half of infinite wealth is still infinite. Interested?
Well, for one thing, Infinite Wealth is it cost me like £60, and I can't play that one yet because I've got to play all the other Yakuza games first. 2, I don't know, I couldn't help but think about the song from A Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. I want the world, I want the whole world. I can't remember the lyrics, I'm hoping those are actually the correct ones. Yes. Yeah, there's so many games before it. I did try and play Yakuza 0 recently while my friend was here, but I drunk... I'm pretty sure it was a Cornish beer called Korev, and that just immediately gave me a splitting headache, like within hours of drinking it. So I'm hoping that I can redo that entire section, because I'm going to delete that video. It wasn't like embarrassing drunk, it was just me going which isn't not as entertaining as you might think it is. There's a reason why I never stream, and why I try not to drink in real life, because it's always a bad idea. I don't try not to drink in real life, I just always regret when I do. Third, there is a downside. You have to turn things that aren't gold into gold, and you know, it's fine if you're using it on, like, I don't know, bricks, but less so if you're using it on people. That sounds grossly unethical. I think the Golden Goose is supposed to be a cautionary tale.
Look, I might have skimmed over that one, but don't be so pedantic. Are you interested or not?
Sure.
Excellent. So the first question is...
Yeah, like, there's no harm in me saying yes.
Now, I have a plan. But first, tell me, are you familiar with the story of the goddess Diana?
Not really. Yeah, I mean, I want to hear what he says.
Allow me to explain. Diana is our goddess of the hunt, the moon, and the underworld, depending on who you ask. The one thing priests and poets agree on is that she carried with her a golden bow and a quiver of golden arrows. And it just so happens that there is a shrine of Diana in this very forum, with a prominent statue of the goddess herself. And would you like to guess what she's holding in her hand?
Is it a monkey? A golden bow, yes, that's a much better answer.
Precisely. I can't tell you how many hours I've spent in that temple staring at it, trying to figure out how to retrieve it without breaking you-know-what.
You want me to steal it?
Oh, gods no. If you tried that, we'd all be dead within moments, I'm sure. No, here's what I propose. You give your bow to me, I cover it in a thin layer of gold leaf, and we create a replica of a golden bow. Then you enter the shrine, extinguish the braziers, and under cover of darkness, swap out the fake for the original. It's not theft exactly, it's more of a trade.
That sounds like stealing with extra steps.
It's a dangerous path, and there's no way of knowing where it will lead. But in my experience, all the best adventures begin with a risky first step. Now, you must have questions. Ask away.
Isn't that extremely dangerous?
When Prometheus stole fire from the gods and became a hero to all mankind, do you think he was worried about the danger?
Prometheus was also punished for eternity, if I recall correctly.
Only because he was silly enough to get caught.
Why can't you do it yourself?
I'm more of an ideas man, whereas you're obviously the more resourceful and heroic type. I have complete confidence in you.
Can't I just take it because of the
Because the
governor?
gods would see you, of course. Hence my proposal.
It is actually interesting. So, it isn't a loophole. It's not like poisoning somebody or directing somebody to a place where they will die. He is telling me to do something secretly, which I feel like would immediately break the golden rule, but it would tell us something about the setting. That's all the questions I had.
So, are you in, partner?
I'll do it, but don't ever call me partner.
Wonderful. Now, if you'll hand over your bow, I can get started applying a layer of gold leaf. This is a quality weapon. Now, bear with me for a moment. And here we are, a gold leaf bow.
Right, am I not going to stand out even more now? Is it bow covered in gold leaf? Statuette covered in gold leaf.
Now I've gone and unlocked the Shrine of Diana for you, so as quick as you can, head on inside.
Oh, you want me to do it
I'll
now?
go to the end of the street on the left. May the gods not watch over you.
Alright, but I was going to talk to the priestess. Lost her again, haven't I? Hang on, isn't it just the way that we came in?
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp. But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it, only your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen.
Charon.
It was C-H-A-R-O-N.
Yes, yeah, no, I figured that out.
As in Charon, the ferryman of the dead. Charon, who, in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reaction.
I don't know if I remember the first couple of lines you said there.
My name's Karen.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means.
This is the underworld.
I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches.
Well, not Diana,
I
then.
know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can.
We did.
That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without
Yes,
dying,
I do remember one
if
particular
they were particularly
gentleman.
fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know.
Why did they build the wall? What can you tell me about Karen?
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman or even Greek,
I
you would know these stories.
But I want to hear it.
Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid.
Homer's obviously the funniest one.
The souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it.
Yes, I've heard of it.
Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks.
I could just leave my my bank card. Why didn't you all recognise Charon? It's still it's Charon, isn't it? Immediately.
To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti, and Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again.
Why are there so few people in the underworld?
Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river. But that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not.
Are you trying to keep this from me?
No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help. I promise you.
That's all the questions I have.
Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter, Orpheus, a Thracian poet, Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra, and Aeneas, a Trojan hero.
Not sure, but I don't know about
Hercules
Aeneas.
was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide.
Can't we escape the way we came in?
It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft. And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that, thanks to the writings left behind by those who've tried.
Notice you seem uncomfortable calling the god of the underworld by his name. Why is that?
All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril.
With his dogged pursuit. Tell me more about confronting Pluto head-on.
Is everyone so blunt where you're from? Oh. That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the Golden Rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules.
Was everyone so blunt where you come from? Hercules couldn't manipulate time.
Are you telling me that you can? I won't pretend to understand exactly what that means, but if that's true, then perhaps you stand a chance. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can.
By being helped by Kronos.
Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day. But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its
I had noticed,
base.
although I noticed 2 of them.
It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again.
So, if I remember correctly, if you kill a Heartless and you kill the Nobody, they'll combine again and become one of the somebodies. But what can you tell me about the obelisk?
It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque.
I kind of wish they'd take a year off those games. I am glad they finally put that mode back in, GM mode. But yeah, that's frustrating. That's like a very basic thing it should be able to do. Where would I find the Roman plaque?
Good question. To answer that, we first need to ask who would have defaced the obelisk in the first place. It would have had the god's name engraved into it, so it may be that whoever desecrated it wanted that name to be forgotten. And there's only one group of people I know of who might want to do that. There's a cult in Rome that often argued there is only one true god. Theirs, of course. They've been known to start fires, as well as deface religious monuments whose existence challenged their beliefs.
That's going to be incredibly embarrassing when I have to tell them that the Greek pantheon is literally the true one.
They've all been in hiding since the fire last year, so finding them won't be easy. But I did hear a rumor they have a secret shrine somewhere in the city. Perhaps, if you could find that, you might be able to recover the Roman plaque.
Where would I find the Greek plaque?
I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. His store is in the forum.
Is he called Georgius George? Where might I find the Egyptian plaque?
Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, would be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks ago. But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so perhaps you could talk to her, or just take a look in his room.
No, I can't, because Aurelia told me to fuck off. Where would I find the mystery plaque?
I'm afraid you're on your own with that one, but perhaps finding the other 3 will illuminate the way.
Let's talk about something else. Yes, yeah, this I really like the there's another game like this, which is about a murder mystery in a sort of strange eldritch location, and I like it. But I will say, because it's also a game where you have to run around the city and just talk to people, and that's like the entire game. And then like the clever bit is having to do the core, the end. But I do have issues with that game. which I can't really say, unfortunately. I don't want to say on stream because in case somebody plays that game, I'd be spoiling it. But specifically, some information is found through the conversations, and some information is found by searching the world, which is already true in this because I had to find the secret entrance. But it is more elegant because this place is smaller and you're not using super jumps. It works slightly better in this game, the actual kind of finding things, and there's the kind of clever twist of you having to like redo things. It's got something on top of it. They're trying to do different things, but I will say I think because I really like the style of that particular game. I've forgotten what it's called now, but I think I like what this is doing, mainly because it is kind of solved a problem I was trying to solve. But I will say I'm probably going to be ending soon, to be honest, Craig. Mainly because I got work tomorrow. And it's my pseudo Monday. Might do some exercise again. But I will be playing this again tomorrow, hopefully earlier as well. So I'm going to say like 20 more minutes. 20, 30. Made you on your own with that one. Perhaps finding another free. Oh yeah.
As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds, so they should be taken with a grain of salt. First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage.
That's horrible.
It is. The gods are a mirror image of mankind, as far as cruelty is concerned, I'm afraid. If the stories are true, I imagine she's as desperate to escape as we are. If she really did help Orpheus and Sisyphus, perhaps she'll help us too. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor?
I've got a test for that.
Aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels?
You hear female statues whispering to me every now and then.
Truly? And you're only bringing this up now?
You had lots to say.
Again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say?
It's always the same voice, and she's helpful if a little cryptic. Is she helpful? She just keeps saying it this way, and I'm like, which way? I can't tell.
Fascinating. Perhaps she's a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps... Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out?
Yet.
Oh, I see. Well, let me know if you hear anything that might be a thread through this labyrinth.
Right, let's get this party started.
I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as possible. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret all this time. Perhaps it would comfort her to know she's not alone.
I'll start with Livia first.
In any case, time is of the essence, so you'd best begin.
I mean, I've already told you it's not.
May Fortuna guide you. Although you may not need her with Proserpina on your side.
Sweet. I'll wait against the current. Oh no, that dickhead died.
Salve, Dooley. How are you doing today?
I'm sad. Am I going to die?
I don't think so, my friend. It's election day today.
Is this the temple? I cannot remember the instructions. Oh, still officers. I'm trying to open up my menu, I just can't remember the button. Ah! Ah, farewell, Craig. Thank you for joining me. Say. The Myth of the Golden Rule by Juritus the Younger. As per our custom, I shall begin by paying my respects to the god responsible for the city. For our continued prosperity and tranquil seclusion, he deserves our admiration. I must depart from custom. His attempt at imposing strict rule upon us is oppressive and overreaching, and deserving of our contempt. I think this might be.
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked. How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them?
Well, I only did that with one. I've been reliving the same day over and over and again.
You're toying with me, right? Wait, you're not kidding, are you? That's the only way you could have known. You're a bit like... Oh, what was his name? Sisyphus. Yeah, that's the one. Old King Sisyphus.
How so?
Sisyphus was a Greek king a long time ago. For daring to think he could outsmart the gods, he was given a terrible punishment. He was forced to push a great boulder up to the top of a hill. Only, just as it reached the top, it would roll all the way back down to the bottom, forcing him to start over and over and over again, for all eternity. Just like you. Actually, now that I think about it, there are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. Tantalus was made to grasp at fruit on a tree he could never quite reach. The Pleiades had to keep fetching water in a sieve. Oh,
that's got to be the worst one.
Was strapped to a wheel going round
there we
and
go.
round forever. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
What was I going to say? You know, you got to imagine them all happy, right? That's the rule. One must imagine them happy. They got to play a computer game. Go on.
Anyway, I don't know which god you managed to upset to get yourself into this position, friend, but you seem all right to me. So, I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you. And you just focus on finding a way to break the cycle you're in.
You are good people, Galerius.
Oh, that's kind of you to say. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk anyway, right? Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy. I know when I'm not wanted. May fortune smile on you, friend.
I need you to run for office.
Salve again, my Sisyphean friend. Now, what's on your mind?
What's your story?
Well, it's a long one and kind of sad, but I don't mind telling it.
I have time.
I'm a farmer. Always have been. I grew up in a small village in Britannia, Camulodunum, with my parents and two little sisters. Lovely part of the world. One day, when I was about 20, my father and I were in the top paddock, loading our cart, when some Roman legionaries came along, demanding produce for their men. My father told me to run into the house for his axe, and so I did. I sprinted so fast I almost threw up, but by the time I got back, he was bleeding out on the ground, and our cart was empty. That was my first encounter with the legions. My mother died of a broken heart soon after, and things went downhill from there. I took over the farmstead, but I was young. And it was a struggle. More raiding started before too long. We'd come outside in the morning to find animals missing, our stores pillaged. These Legion thugs just took whatever they wanted. One night, when my sisters and I had nothing left to steal, there was a knock at the door. I knew who they were, and what they wanted. I got my father's old axe, pulled the door open real quick, and before that soldier knew it, split his face right down the middle. But there were more of them. I never saw how many, because the next thing I knew, I was waking up with a mouth full of dirt and lungs full of smoke. My home was reduced to ash. My sisters, dead. And they left me alive to see what they'd done. Still burns whenever I think about it.
So I didn't press the mother button because I reserve that mainly for anime games, but specifically it's because I tend to use it when it's the entirety of somebody's characterization, and the writing and acting in this has been better than that, and so I am going out my way not to press it, but I will mention it still. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, well, I wasn't the only one this happened to. It wasn't long before Boudica led thousands of Britons in a rebellion against the Romans. Unfortunately, there were just too many of them. And those of us who survived, they enslaved. So, then I found myself being transported all the way to Rome to be sold to the highest bidder. I spent a few years working for my new master, learning the Romans' ways, Romanized my name and everything. Tried to escape a couple of times, but they always found me, and I'd just end up right back where I was. I'd probably still be there too, if it wasn't for the stampedes breaking out. You see, about 7 months ago, an enormous fire broke out in Rome. Everybody was running down toward the river, screaming and shouting. I'd never seen anything like it. Human beings acting like cattle. I got swept up with them somehow, and the rest is a blur. The next thing I knew, some stranger was dragging me out of a river. Stumbled across this place and started my life over again.
But things worked out in the end.
That's what I thought too, for a while. But it seems the gods aren't done tormenting me yet. See, I finally had my own farm again, safe from the grasping hands of the Romans. Or so I thought. Until Sentius the Decurion demanded I hand over all my produce. It's for the good of us all, he says. Only he takes the best bits for himself, of course. He even told me if I refuse his demands, I'll break the golden rule. I'm not sure I believe him, but then, what if he's right? So, it turns out our dear old magistrate is no better than the Legion thugs who took everything from me. I'm right back where I began. But don't you worry, Nemesis is waiting, and he'll get his, one day.
No, I beat Nemesis in the last game I played.
Forget I said that last part, will you? I get carried away sometimes.
Sure.
Thanks, friend. I knew I liked you. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Was there something else you wanted to talk about?
No way out of here.
Well, as much as I'd love to get out of here, the harvest's always more fruitful in another man's field, isn't it? But Scintilla, Sentius's daughter, went missing a few weeks back. Could be she found a way out. If anyone knows for sure, it'll be her sister, Sentia. But she'd never tell the likes of me.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Oh, I don't give it much thought these days. I mean, everybody here's got their own view about what we need to do to survive. But I say, let's spend less time arguing about what it means to be good and just get on with it, you know?
Think about the election.
I can't see how I could vote for either candidate. I don't like Sentius much, but Malleolus is almost as bad. Even I could do a better job. Me, a farmer. And I've never given a speech or put on a toga in my life.
Oh, that you should totally do that. Ever thought about running for the magistrate yourself?
I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never going to do it. But from what I hear, Malleolus has the election stitched up. Nobody's going to take him on and win. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom. So I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. And that's good enough for me.
Why is Julie in a cell?
Because Sentius put him there. Poor Dooley was just wandering around looking for some imaginary treasure. Now a magistrate accused him of being a thief. That's nonsense, of course. Dooley's the most harmless man you'll ever meet. But Sentius really has it in for him, for some reason.
Alice runs, he's going to break the golden rule and kill us all.
And how could you... Oh, wait.
Actually, I didn't see that, but
Time loop, haven't you?
because I didn't quite get there in time.
We need to find a way to make sure Malleolus loses. Better yet, get him to withdraw altogether. If you can do that, and Sentius is the only candidate left, I'll run against him. Deal?
Alright. Where are we going now?
Alright, friend. Hope you find a way to break that cycle you're in.
Same for you. All these people, like, didn't even see. Okay, I know a bunch of them have been replaced. That's the only reason they'd be on pillars. But, like, it seems a lot of them did not notice the golden statues attacking them. I was thinking I would wait for the loop to end again.
Don't you just love springtime?
That's right. This is the baths, John.
You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of water, and the tree you grasp at eludes you. Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls. But it does not notice the crowds that come.
More clowns for the river. I figured it out. I know where we are.
Say it. Speak its name.
The underworld.
Then it is true. I was right.
What?
I thought I saw it, but when the rest of them could not, I kept thinking I must have gone insane.
You are sort of speaking in like...
Tell myself
well,
it was
you
true
were speaking
over
in
and
fragments.
over again, until I wasn't sure if I was deceiving myself. I must apologize if my words seem cryptic. I'd found comfort in reciting the Metamorphoses by our great poet Ovid. He gives such an uncanny description of this place. I cannot help but wonder if he himself came here. Would you like to hear it?
I think... sure, I think somebody did that already, but I'll hear it again.
I will do my best to remember the relevant verse. There is a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. The sluggish Styx exhales vapor, and by that way, the shadows of the newly dead descend, entombed with full rites, and the ghosts of those, at last, given proper burial. The wide, thorny waste is cold and pallid, and the newly arrived shades are ignorant of the road that leads to the Stygian city, where Black Dis has his cruel palace.
Yes.
As the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls, and is never too small for any populace, nor notices the crowds that come. There the bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives. And still others incur punishment. I hope I have done it justice, and now we share a secret. It's as if you've lifted a great burden from my shoulders. Thank you, friend. I think I should rest. Friend, you have given me hope. May you follow in the footsteps of Hercules and return to the light of day.
Okay, I'll try and have rest. I might want to find the let me use that one. That appears to be going up. What's that? Let's see it go down. Is not going to take me to an old location. I might do.
Fortune smile on you, brother.
Patty. Didn't mean to threaten him.
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step. Whatever. Oh, the moon.
Maybe it's not night.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called Silphium, but that Culus cubulatus decius won't give it to me.
Sorry, I wish you could help.
It's too late. She just slipped away.
No. Well.
Salve and welcome. Need something?
What's your story?
Oh, there's not much to tell. I mostly just bake bread and try to help out where I can.
Did you end up here?
I suppose it all started about 8 months ago. I was living in Rome with my family when I got sick. Terrible timing. My pa had just arranged a husband for me, a fisherman's son. I was about to meet him for the first time when I came down with an awful fever. I spent the next week in bed. Pa paid priests to make offerings to Asclepius, a white rooster, then a goat. But nothing worked. In the end, they decided I'd do better outside the city. Clean air in the countryside would do me good, they said. But after about a day in a carriage on the Appian Way, I was getting worse, not better. I remember closing my eyes for a bit, and I guess I must have fell asleep, because when I opened them again, I was in a forest by a river. I suppose the driver took off with his fee and left me for dead. Can't say I blame him. I wouldn't have wanted to catch what I had either. Anyway, I went searching for help, stumbled across the trapdoor temple, and here I am. It's nice of you to say, but you should save your sympathy. Lots of people here need it more than I do.
No way out of here?
What? You've been here a few moments and you're desperate to get out already? Why not give the place a chance before you try to leave? Good people here. Galerius works hard on the farm so I can put food on our tables. And Lucretia tries to keep us healthy. My friend Georgius is always mending our clothes. And Virgil makes sure these old walls don't fall down around us. Well, he does his best. I'm just saying, there are worse places you could live out your days.
Fair enough. What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Oh, I try not to worry about it. I mean, if people are nice to each other, we won't have anything to worry about, will we?
I like your optimism.
Thanks. And I like your teeth. They're so white. And your clothes. Oh, I bet my friend Georgius would like to get a look at you. And I'm sure he'd love to chatter about the Golden Rule with you too. He'll be just across the forum in his shop.
Any idea who's threatening Virgil?
Terrible shame, that is. Maybe this'll help. Late last night, I was cleaning my oven when I heard some noises outside. The forum's usually dead quiet at that hour, so I came out to see what was going on. To be honest, I thought maybe poor old Dooley had got out of his cell and was snooping around again. So I popped my head out and saw someone in front of Virgil's shop. I couldn't tell who. It was too dark. I called out to them, but they just turned and ran off without a word. All I remember is they ran past a lit torch and the light glinted off something metallic. Armour, I think. So I suppose it could only be one of three people. Horatius, Domitius or Rufius. I hope that helps.
Thanks, that does. Have to go now.
All right. Thanks again for taking care of our problem. I won't forget it.
Yeah, I did. I was going to say, what problem? Oh, yeah, I got a guy. To go until the end.
Ave again. Did you find what you need?
Ask you some questions about escaping the end.
Certainly. May Fortuna guide you.
Salve.
Although you may not...
I guess this might be where the thing... There's a bunch of people I want to talk to, I just never bump into them. Oh god, fuck. Oh, it's falling now. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
Friend, you have given me hope.
Back again, I see. Terrible shame what happened to Yulia. But we just have to carry on, don't we?
Need some sulfium resin.
Certainly. All I ask is a reasonable price of 1,000 denarii.
Would I come up with 1,000 denarii?
That's hardly my concern. But if you get a job, work hard and save your coins, you should be able to afford it within, say, 5 years?
You're price gouging over life-saving medicine. What is wrong with you?
Oh, it's perfectly legal. Simply a question of supply and demand, I'm afraid. Take it or leave it.
Why don't I just take it instead?
Well, if you did that, you'd break the golden rule, and we'd share the same fate as the last lot who lived here. Is that what you want?
You want? I'll hand them over now.
Do you think I don't know a bluff when I see
Fuck
one?
yeah,
Nice.
Fair enough, at least he doesn't take it personally.
Very well. Perhaps I can interest you in something within your budget?
What's your story?
You mean how did I end up here? That is a lengthy tale.
Let's hear it.
All right. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome. Mostly sculptures, vases, the occasional slave, fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society. Had myself a nice little shop in Rome, just off the Forum. Lots of foot traffic and close to the docks. Good place to be when the fires broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, open to escape by barge. So I gathered my coins and some priceless vases into a cart and had my most loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named Acantha, push it for me. All the way down to the river, I'm elbowing through a stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged it with my valuables. But, to my surprise, we make it, and I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking. But the captain's happy to take my coin, so I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl." So I did what anyone would have done.
You chose the cart, didn't you?
Of course I chose the cart. I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide.
Okay.
And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the Tiber.
You took her with you after all?
No, I dived in after it, of course. Aren't you paying attention? That was a bloody fortune. Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something, because everything went black. When I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank, not far from here, with nothing in the world but a single silver coin.
Observations.
Thank you, friend. But it turns out it might have been a stroke of good fortune, because this place is a veritable treasure trove. Look around you. There must be more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I can just figure out how to get it out of here.
Way out of here?
I'm afraid not. If you're desperate, I did hear that Aurelia down at the tavern claims to know of a way out, but I'm not sure I trust her. Some people here are a little shady for my liking.
Yes, they are. Thanks, I'll keep an eye out for them. What do you think about the Golden Rule?
It's terrible for inflation is what it is. There's so much gold just lying around, it's practically worthless. At least down here.
Who are you going to vote for?
Malleolus. I mean, Sentius couldn't even keep his daughter safe. What hope does he have of protecting us?
No, I don't.
Certainly.
We just love
Very well.
springtime.
Another time.
You again.
You the one threatening virtue.
No idea what you're talking about?
I know it was you.
Yeah? Prove it. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there's no harm in bluffing. Nobody's going to remember what I say.
Fear is proof of a degenerate mind.
Back again. Couldn't stay away, huh?
Looking for Gabash. Have you seen him?
Not for a few weeks now. Last time I saw him,
Don't you just
he was
love
sitting at a
springtime?
table with Georgius, whispering about some job. I remember because they kept looking over their shoulders as if they didn't want anyone else to know. So, naturally, I hovered. The one word I kept hearing was vanishing, and then, the next day, Kabash just disappeared. Coincidence? I think not. All right, see ya.
What now?
Can we talk about Scintilla?
What business is that of yours?
For
A lot of people have been looking for her. But it's been 3 weeks, and we've found nothing. What makes you think you can do better?
fresh eyes help. Sometimes fresh eyes help.
I suppose that's true.
Did you notice anything suspicious before she went missing?
Scintilla was always a kind, well-behaved young woman. I admit, her disappearance really caught me off guard. If anyone knows something, I'd expect it to be Sentia, Malleolus, Claudia, or Domitius. But none of them will tell me anything. You might fare better though, I suppose.
Okay, I'm not going to do that bluff.
Fine.
Are you the one threatening Virgil?
What? Absolutely not. I know someone's been threatening him, and I'm not happy about it. But I can assure you, it isn't me.
Fair enough.
All right. Please keep an eye out for anything that might lead us to Scintilla.
Don't you just love springtime? Horatius? Looking a bit troubled there.
Still no sign of Scintilla. And I haven't slept right in 3 weeks.
Don't be too hard on yourself. From what I hear, nobody saw it coming. Anyway, I thought you Stoics weren't supposed to worry about things you can't control.
Yeah, but I keep thinking, what if there is something I can do? What if she's out there somewhere suffering, waiting to be found?
Sounds like...
Okay, the election is soon. I'm tempted to just stay there and follow them, because presumably they go to...
I suppose you're right.
Well, isn't that an impressive trinket?
Don't you just love springtime?
Vote for Malleolus for a free drink at my tavern.
Yeah, if only I knew where the vote was. Yeah, there was a secret place as well. There's a good, yeah. Good to know. I could just go through 1,000 times and get 1,000 of them. I was still on the menu for a reason, wasn't I? Oh, if Malleus wins the election, he'll sentence to death for treason. See, I missed that scene, but Where did I find that secret? Right. Probably track a quest that actually has a tracker on it. Yeah, I might be able to buy off him. Keep finding treasure. What is this? By the city's goose. Right, I'm sort of faffing about right now. Waiting for the next day to come. We heal slightly. Oh, it has to be
Citizen, we're finally alone. I assume you already know who I...
I've approximated this conversation before.
We have? Wait, if I understand correctly, someone is about to break the golden rule, forcing me to create a portal in time to bring you here? I must have entrusted you with figuring out who the culprit is, only I assume we failed, and you had to start over. Is that about right? If so, what happened?
Okay. I couldn't stop it from being broken.
Ah, I see. Look, it's unfortunate, but all that matters now is that you make use of what you've learned and gathered and do better next time. Now, I assume you've sought me out again for a reason.
Continue to release Dooley.
You mean Duilius? Releasing him is out of the question, I'm afraid. That man is a liability we simply cannot afford. Perhaps you're not aware he was caught multiple times, sneaking around in places he should not have been.
What exactly did he do?
Look, I can see where you're going with this. You think me cruel. I assure you that is not the case. You may not be aware of this, but it was not so long ago, during the Republic, the law of the 12 Tables would have required that he be killed as soon as he was born, owing to his deformities. Here we see to it that he has food, water and shelter, and most importantly, he is able to continue living. A privilege that would be taken away from all of us were he to be released and commit the crime of trespass. The man has no self-discipline, poor comprehension of what is going on around him, and is an incorrigible rule breaker. I will not jeopardize the lives of my people so that one man can go free. Now, was there something else?
Can I ask you who... Talk about
Of course, what is it?
I've already figured out how to stop at least one person from breaking it. What happens now?
Well, if you stopped one person from breaking it and you're still here, then there must be someone else about to break it still. Allow me to explain. When I discovered the ritual to Proserpina, the instructions came with a warning about paradoxes. The crux of it is this. If you do anything to change the course of history in such a way that your very being here is impossible, you will have created a paradox. To illustrate, when the golden rule is broken, I will open the doorway that will bring you here to prevent it from being broken.
What if I kill you first?
If you manage to succeed in saving our lives, then I will have no reason to open the doorway, and you will never have come here. A paradox. You see? The same thing would happen if you, say, inadvertently, allowed me to die. If I can't summon you, then you can't be here, obviously. If either of those things were to happen, I am given to understand you would be flung back to your original time, having changed the course of history for us and yourself. So the fact that you are still here means someone is going to break the golden rule, and there is yet work to do. Understand?
I think so.
Excellent. So, it looks like you'll have to continue your investigation. Now, was there anything else you wanted to ask? Of course. What is it?
I think I know who it is.
Yes?
You might need more time to investigate.
Why then did you say, it looks like you'll have to... Thank you.
Ugh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want?
What's your story?
I'm Sentia, eldest daughter of the magistrate. But you'd know that if you'd been invited in here and introduced properly. What are you doing in here? And why are you dressed like that?
Not from round here.
Really? I'd never have noticed, what with your flawless accent, appropriate attire, and impressive mastery of our customs. Now, remind me, why are we having this conversation?
What do you think about the golden rule?
You know, some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing god who's watching everything we do. But what kind of an awful, incompetent god would let my sister go missing on his or her watch?
Good question.
Did you hear that? Curse you, you coward! Where is my sister? What do you have to say for yourself? No response. Nothing. That's what I thought.
At least we know that blasphemy doesn't break the golden rule.
I'm telling you, this mysterious god of ours has to be asleep on the job. Either that, or, like people are saying, it really is just a children's fable my father is exploiting to frighten us into behaving.
It's definitely real.
Oh, and I suppose I'll just have to take the word of a know-nothing barbarian who just arrived, will I? I'm Sentia, eldest daughter. What are you doing in here? I trust you can see yourself out.
Malleolus isn't receiving visitors at the moment.
Need to speak with Ulpius.
He's not here.
Where is he?
Dunno. The little Caput murder escaped earlier this morning while I was taking Yulia to the clinic. He can't have gone far, but if you find him, tell him the punishment he gets for coming back on his own won't be as bad as if I have to go looking for him.
Are you the one threatening Virgil?
Do I seem like anonymous threats are my style?
You know anything about Scintilla's disappearance?
Listen, I don't abduct women. They come to me, and they keep coming back, if you know what I mean.
Yes, subtle, but I think I know what
You don't know Sturkus.
I've not met Sturkus yet. I thought you'd be wanted.
Yeah? What have you got for me?
How about 100 denarii?
Os inculio mio. Just make it good.
Here's 10 denarii?
Hey, Caput Murde. Futuere es. Just make it good.
I get it, I'll find.
If you set one foot in that villa without permission, I'll skin you alive, you Pusillus Cemitarius Mocus.
Your Pusillus Cemitarius, man. Fuck.
Ave.
This selection can happen. He runs it, right?
Isn't the great temple majestic?
Yes, it's lovely.
Hey, you're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you?
Wasn't, but I now am.
Contrary little Caput murder, aren't you?
Why shouldn't I go down there?
Nobody's told you about Hannibal? Ugh, why do I have to do everything round here? So, there was this guy called Hannibal, right? Funny accent. Used to go down into the cisterns looking for junk he could clean up and sell. One day, a few weeks back, he comes out and tells me the cisterns are haunted. Said he could hear spirits wailing. Of course, nobody believed him, because who trusts a Carthaginian, right?
Guess we'll finish this conversation
Time for
later.
Malleolus to become magistrate.
Right, there we go. It took a little longer than I thought it was going to. But I wanted to see the actual election. The next time we play, we can start with a fresh save. Well, fresh start, you know.
Citizens, we have a quorate body of voters gathered here to elect the city's magistrate. The candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus
and Marcus Malleolus Gurges. As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots, and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Sendius.
Dacius.
Malleolus.
Galerius.
I abstain. I'm just here to observe.
Virgil.
Malleolus.
Rufius.
Malleolus.
And finally, Domitius.
Malleolus. Who else?
Citizens, you have made your decision. Your new magistrate is Marcus Malleolus Gurges.
Hail, Magistrate Malleolus. I said, hail, Magistrate Malleolus. That's more like it.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. Under my leadership, you will finally enjoy the freedom you deserve. No more shall you walk on eggshells, fearing simply to live and breathe, because the tyrant Sentius told you it was forbidden. For my first act as magistrate, I hereby announce a day of celebration to mark the end of an era. The myth of the Golden Rule is no more.
The Golden Rule is real, you idiot.
For his attempt to deceive us all, Sentius is hereby found guilty of treason against the Empire.
What? I have committed no crimes. This is madness.
His sentence: to fight for his life in gladiatorial combat.
Oh, does he win?
Domitius, here and now for your entertainment.
You have no idea what you're doing. You're going to get us all killed.
Wait, I exercise my right as a Vestal priestess to pardon him. I will not allow you to do this.
You're showing your true colors now, priestess. Your corruption sickens me. Domitius, ignore her. Proceed.
This is insanity. You'll doom us all.
Lies! It is time the Golden Rule was exposed for what it is, a children's fable, exploited by a treacherous leader to instill fear in all of us.
This is why he's in his gladiator gear. They've been planning this all along.
Shut up, all of you. The magistrate has spoken. I'm going to enjoy killing you, old man.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
It doesn't even get killed. Right. Here is where I'll save it. Okay, I want to find out, can I shoot people with this?
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and what you're doing? Oh, right then.
Enjoy that. He's like, no, you better come with me. And then you can just say, nah. I can't remember which way it takes me. Fuck.
Salve.
You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of water.
Fear is proof of a degenerate mind.
Okay, I need to see, I want to see what happens.
This is a rather strange first impression, but I'm going to have to overlook it for reasons that will soon become clear. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? We have? Wait, I must... Is that... Seems rather... Thank you. Are they? Don't be so foolish. If you kill me, we all die. Allow me to explain. When I discovered the ritual to Proserpina, the crux of it is to illustrate. If you the same thing would happen. If either...
Killed you, everyone would die, and I'd return to my original timeline with no way back.
Indeed.
Do you think
Thank
this?
you.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Right. Had to create the time paradox, obviously. I was gonna let you go, but obviously I think this is an ending.
Oh. Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
Al Worth, I came in here to find you.
Well, here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Proximus.
Really? That's strange. I was just reading an old tablet I found here. Well, trying. My Latin is kind of rusty, but the last entry mentioned someone with the same name. It described an event about 2,000 years ago. Someone with your name appeared in the city out of the shrine of Proserpina and murdered a local magistrate, breaking some kind of ancient law. It said that the voice of a furious god rang out, and the ground trembled and statues sprang to life, firing arrows at the city's inhabitants. Apparently, as the citizens screamed and died in pain, the stranger just vanished in a flash of light.
That was me.
What? You're saying you were here 2,000 years ago? I'm not sure I understand.
I first arrived here in present day. I found your corpse hanging from a noose.
I'm sorry, come again?
Still have the suicide note you carved into the tablet here.
Let me see that. God, why does this writing look so familiar? I've spent a lifetime in this place going around and around in circles. This is disturbing. But I don't understand how I could have written it.
It was written by a different version of you. I changed the past and your fate.
I'm not following.
Killed the man who opened the time portal. Drew you back in time, preventing it from ever happening.
So you're saying, because a man from 2,000 years ago is dead, he never created a time portal, so I never went through it, and that's why I don't remember any of this.
Now you're getting it.
I guess. So what you're really saying is, you brought me back from the dead to let me die all over again. You saw the tablet. I spent a lifetime searching for a way out and never found one. I can't see how I could possibly find one now, so it seems like we're both gonna die here.
I regret nothing.
How can you say that? You murdered a man in cold blood, and now there's a city full of dead people. And it's only a matter of time before we join them. I guess all those old Latin inscriptions were right. Pro peccata unius, multis dolabunt. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Ending 104. Okay, there we go. I thought it'd be sensible to actually get the ending. It's a cool way to end the stream, I thought. Here we go. I'm gonna not watch, like, it's funny I've gotten to a credit screen, but it's obviously the bad ending. So I'm gonna skip this, and we'll watch it properly when I get a real. Right. I'm assuming white hallway. I'm still not sure what the white hallway is. Either way. I'm assuming because that ending is saved, I can safely load the game and never do that, of course. But I've been the Johnstruct. I've been having a Forgotten City adventure. That last hour, I did a lot of running about, to be honest, because I was trying to force an ending. And then I could have just shot the guy, couldn't I? No, that wouldn't have got... I could have shot anyone else and forced the thing to happen. Had I been thinking, I could have done that, but I didn't. But I guess I did want to see the trial. Either way. Thank you very much. Farewell. I'll see you next time. I do.